What is going on, Don't Unfriend Me Nation? Welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me Show. Evening time. Hello. J-Dog says, I just voted for Trump. Good for you. Outstanding. So many early voters, man. I think it's close to, I don't know, it feels like 20% of the followers just are like ready to go. And I don't know if that's true or not, but it feels that way. Not a chapstick. You gotta adapt. You've got to overcome. You got to survive. Oh, so much going on. Kamala is going to do her closing arguments tonight, which should be interesting. Test 1, 2, 3. Test 1, 2. Testing 1, 2, 3. Make sure you guys hear me okay. Got some other stuff to talk about. We'll dive into the Puerto Rico thing. Megyn Kelly has a take, and we should listen to Megyn Kelly because she's super smart, and I happen to agree with her. I think the whole thing with the Puerto Rico joke thing was stupid. I told you it was stupid, but it is what it is. It's the thing about an election, especially this close, is all about unforced errors. And yeah, so let's get out there. We got a goal tonight, 200. Tonight's goal. Let's end this month right. This is going to be 19 days in a row to hit goal. Let's crush it tonight. Let's make that happen. Got some things in the works. We're still trying to get that app done. I know Jason's been going through some serious hardship. So if you have Jason on Wimkin as a friend, just tell him you love him, you appreciate him, you're praying for him. There's a lot going on in his life, and he can use our prayers. We will be back in a few minutes, 3 minutes, and we will rock and roll tonight. See you in a few. What's going on, everybody? Matthew Spear from the Don't Unfriend Me Show. I am proud to announce that the Documents of Freedom are back in stock. It's a 3-book collection, leather-bound, by Arcadia Publishing. Starts out with the Bill of Rights, and it's the complete edition of the rights, so you can look up and reference anything your heart desires. Declaration of Independence, with revisions and founder images included, beautifully illustrated. And last but not least, what would Documents of Freedom be without the Constitution of the United States of America in its entirety? The box is handmade by PFC Flags, custom engraving, all 100% made in the USA from the nails to the glue. And we have a 5-star rating, satisfaction guaranteed, 150 sold,
5 stars or better. It is so important, especially in today's society, to ensure that the younger generation has these books available in the future. Get them for your family and friends, available right now. Head on over to the...
Hey, everybody, just wanted to give you a heads up on the Documents of... I don't know why it's defaulting to this camera. The Documents of Freedom, the box set. We've got... you can get all 3 books separate. And they are leatherette books. They're fantastic on their own. I have them right here. They've been here for 4 years since I started the show. And people were like, hey, how do I get the books? Well, this is how you get the books. So you can get all 3 at a discounted price. And then there is a leatherette Documents of Freedom box that they come in, which you can also do. And I think it's like $5 more, which is ridiculous considering how much it cost me to get the damn thing. But I had some extras. And then the mother of all mother loads is the Documents of Freedom actual box from PFC Flags. And they do the flag behind me, and they make these boxes. They're beautifully engraved with a flat blue, and all 3 books fit beautifully. There's 4 books in here because there's an additional one, but they fit in. You can display them like this, or you can actually display them like this in your library. They're on sale. Folks, I don't know if I'm going to have any for Christmas. I'm not going to lie. I think this might be it. So I have done the mother load. I've went ahead and stocked up as much as I can. So if you're going to order, I would get those in by the 15th of November. I'm going to ship out this batch. I do have a couple extra for this month. So if you're interested in ordering, do it now. And I'll get it shipped out to you on Thursday, more than likely. I think I'll have them on Thursday from Jason. And then we may have one more shipment. We may not. So if you're going to do it, now's the time. If you don't, you were forewarned.
DUMShow.com/books. Thanks so much.
One of the things that I hear most often, that I always try to help people connect the dots, is what is past is prologue. And although Shakespeare, not my favorite, it's an interesting thing when you look at 1980 and the crack epidemic and what the United States government was involved in with the Contras.
No kidding.
So I don't understand why people are so shocked and they call Roseanne a conspiracy theorist, because there's evidence in the past of the government getting involved in this, and there's plenty of books on this, and you can read this.
Hey, here's what I think. I love your show, by the way, Matt Spear, and
Thank
watched
you, ma'am.
Just discovered you about a week ago,
ma'am.
Oh my God, this guy's a genius. The facts he can spew.
God, I love you.
You can spew fact, and that's the sign of a genius.
Thank you, ma'am.
So I appreciate you asking me that.
So you just made my life.
I do remember back when they were bringing the crack cocaine into the black neighborhoods, and that proved that the CIA was doing it because they were grooming that population, and they've been
adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriendly Show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The DUM Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.
What's going on, everybody? Let's hope this interview is decent with Kamala Harris this evening. I'm hoping. Awesome, Deborah. Good news. Just dropped a new video. Figure I would show it to you quickly, which is kind of going to kick us off on our topic while we're waiting for Kamala to show up. And it's based upon the whole Madison Square Garden, Nazi, all that other crap. I figured you would want to see it, and it's pretty funny. So here it is. Merry Christmas.
According to the left, Donald Trump is a Nazi and Hitler. And there's some evidence of that because he chose Madison Square Garden, a place that Bill Clinton, John F. Kennedy, and the DNC also chose 3 times throughout history. You want to know who else chose it? The Nazis. That's right. The Nazi pro-American movement held a rally there back in the 30s. And therefore, because of that, Donald Trump is now a Nazi along with Bill Clinton and John F. Kennedy. So if we're going to go ahead and make that comparison contrast, why is Kamala Harris choosing January 6 grounds to hold her closing arguments tonight? The worst event ever to happen in history, where our democracy was held hostage by a coup, where Thousands of people died, like Pearl Harbor and 9/11, right? It's pretty simple. The Democrats want to have January 6th 2.0, and they're saying if they lose, they'll overthrow the government and destroy your loving, caring democracy. Good choice.
Sarcasm. Fantastic. Bobby donated. Thank you so much, Bobby. Hey, who's home? Okay. So yeah, thank you, Bobby, so much. We greatly appreciate it. That starts us off. I hadn't even had a chance to talk about donations, and here you are already. We're at half of our goal. So thank you so much. This week has been awesome. This month has been awesome. We really appreciate you guys. Take care of us. It means the world to continue to keep the show free. I'm just going to scroll a few people who have just been absolutely huge in the last few days. But honestly, this entire month has just been incredible. Everyone's been so helpful. So what's up? What are you doing?
Just got back from school.
Oh, so how was your after party?
Exhausting. I'm
Yeah, well,
sleep for 15 hours.
Yeah, aren't you off for like 7 days?
I haven't gotten a good night's sleep.
It's just an answer, yes or no, really. Are you off for
Yes.
7 days? Okay, outstanding. So I can't wait to spend it with you.
So tired.
All right, I love you.
It's been such a
I know, life's hard. Shit happens, Hayden. Suck it up. I love my kid. It does say a 7:15 start time, but we do that because Facebook won't book the show unless we give a 15-minute buffer. So for those of you who are like, why does it say 7:15 and not 7 o'clock? Because Facebook is literally looking for any reason that they can to not allow us to play the show. Folks, we're 100 people away from 200,000. It's been a long road, 4 years. It's pretty cool. And we're pretty excited. As hard as Facebook tries to throttle us and censor us and shut us down, they can't. And we're still growing, and that's amazing to see. So wanted to say thank you to those people below who donate to the show and give when it's hard to, and give when it's not the easiest thing. That means the world to us. So thank you so much. If you want to donate too, the best way to do that is go to thedumshow.com/donate, and you can donate to the show. We would, once again, greatly appreciate your assistance. Okay, so we've got this whole thing with Puerto Rico. So let's just be honest here, okay? Is there anybody who truly believes that this is going to move the needle and somehow going to change the way people vote? No. The people who were going to vote for Donald Trump know exactly what they were going to get. They know who he is. They knew what they were going to get. They know what they are going to get. They voted for him before. And it really is just stupid to assume that some comedian who makes an insult joke is going to change the vote. Now, the left are desperately clinging on to this. Like, oh yeah, Puerto Ricans are so pissed off. They're so mad. They're going to run for the border. Everyone knows that I make fun of Latin culture, and I make fun of everybody, but everybody's from Mexico because we're from Texas. And Texas, we're not really from Texas, but we like to think that we're from Texas. Everyone says that everybody's Mexican, you know? They can see some guy who's Korean who walks over and they go, well, what nationality? He's Mexican. So we need to... We've got to just have faith in the people who are going to vote for Donald Trump are going to vote no matter what. And the people who are not going to vote for Donald Trump are not. And there's no independent who's going to be like, oh, he made fun of Puerto Rico, I'm out of here. That's not the way this works. People who are leaning towards Trump will make an apology for what happened, and people who don't won't. But it's not that. It's literally what people care about. And what they truly care about is who they believe is going to do the best for them, not the country. They make it a personal. Hold on, Kevin just asked a question. Has Matt? I don't have any list. I'm trying, y'all. I just don't have the time And if people want to watch something, the best thing to do is turn them on to my show, because I'll try to do it. But it's, if you want me to do something like that, like make a list of 100 things Trump did, you got to like send it, you got to email me, and you have to continue to stay on me, because I'm just busy, and it's like, it's all day. I mean, you've seen, I was, it doesn't matter whether I'm doing articles or writing shows, it's all day long, and it's just me. There's nobody else. It's just me. So I just don't have the time. I try. But if you don't remind me, I will never have the time. And it's got to be like, Matt, any word on this, Matt, any word, and I'll get to it. But if you just like say it randomly on a show and I'm like, yeah, I'll get it put up, it's probably not going to happen. So if you wouldn't mind letting whoever's on Rumble, I don't know who it was. It was Brenda. And I love Brenda. She's amazing. Let her know that I'm sorry, I didn't. But if she would just, Matt at the DUM Show, send me a quick email after this, and then give me a follow-up tomorrow during my free time in the morning, and I'll get it knocked out for you. I know I can do it like that if you just remind me. But I got birthdays to do. I've got shows to do. I'm watching the news. I'm writing articles. We're doing memes. We're trying to advertise across all channels. I'm doing interviews with other shows. It's getting to that point where it's just too busy. I need an intern. So if you want something like that, just let me know. Anyway, my point is that any damage that was done by this was already baked in. Anybody who thought that Trump didn't help with the hurricane in Puerto Rico already felt that way. Anybody who was, so this whole thing that, Puerto Ricans don't have a sense of humor. Well, you know what? I think Puerto Ricans do have a sense of humor. I just think it wasn't funny. Here's two things that I want to show you. This is in New York, okay? Give me a break. Give me a break. So this is actually on a bus stop, and this is printed. And if we truly cared about, saying people are trash, well, then New York wouldn't be leading this cause. And the company that puts these up would not be allowed to advertise for shit like this. You call people Nazis, and then you pretend, it's no big deal. But we say Puerto Rico is fairly trashy when you can see that Puerto Rico is. Anyone who's been to Puerto Rico lately, it is not what it used to be. And they had a hard time after the hurricane, but they have trash problems. They have landfill problems. They have issues with picking up trash on the street. If you just do a quick search, you'll find it. Now, is it funny? No, it's still not funny, especially during an election. And I think the person who nailed it most is Megyn Kelly, who I like to defer to because I kind of think she's awesome. I really like Megyn Kelly. I've always liked Megyn Kelly. Even when she was pushing back on Trump, I still liked her. I think she's got great presence. I think she's smart. Maybe I've got a little crush. I don't know. Could be, possibly. But she does it really well. And she puts it into context where I do too, but she does it a little faster. So here it is, Megyn Kelly's thought process, and then we'll go from here.
Trump was not well served by those around him last night. It wasn't a Nazi.
I used to think Megyn Kelly was super hot. Megyn needs to eat something. She doesn't. She's very skinny. Now, nobody come out, Matt, it's a thyroid problem. She's been very open about that. Okay, you know what? I didn't know. The last time I said something that women should have short hair, I don't like short hair. I lost viewers and people flip the fuck out. So I'm just saying she's too skinny for my taste. You got to have some meat on the bones. She's still beautiful, but I thought she actually was a woman who looked very good with short hair. When she was on Fox and had short hair, I thought she looked great. But yeah, she's hot. She's too skinny for me. I'm just not into that. But she's still a beautiful woman. She's not my. No, she's beautiful. She's smart, dude. She's wicked smart. I love that about her. And she's cute as a button, but just not my speed. That's all.
Rally all.
Not that matters, because she doesn't give a shit of it. Can you imagine her going, I'm not Matt Spears speed. Well, forget it. My career's over. She doesn't care.
That's not.
Hi, honey.
I don't care about what.
Nothing. I'm talking about you.
But I'm telling you, even for me,
We're talking about
I
Megyn Kelly.
voted for Donald Trump last week. It was
You always
too
do both.
brotastic. Okay? It was. You're trying to win an election in which you're hemorrhaging female voters. Maybe when you present in front of hundreds, thousands at least, at Madison Square Garden, You clean up the bro talk just a little.
Yeah.
So you don't alienate women.
Yeah.
In the middle of America.
Yeah.
Who are already on the fence.
Yeah.
About Republicans.
No, they're not on the fence. Okay, that's not true. They're not on the fence. Okay, listen, there's two things. We're going to talk. You know what? Let's let Megan finish, and then I'm going to say what I'm going to say.
Do they have no women advising their campaign? Is there no actual woman?
Yeah, there was Nikki Haley, and then she was called Bird Brain, and she bailed.
Sitting behind the scenes, coming up with the guest lineup and saying, let's just have a word with the guys who are going to be speaking about this isn't the bar. This isn't their living room. This is a campaign. This is politics. We're trying to get him elected.
Yep.
We don't need to rally the base or guys anymore.
Yep.
And it's not helpful, even if we do want to rally the base or guys, to go full off color insults to different racial groups and so on. I get it. Trust me, nothing that was said offended me. I'm almost unoffendable. But I understand how this plays, especially with women.
Yep.
And it was an effed up choice.
Mm-hmm.
They took what was an amazing celebration of Trump.
Yep.
Exciting and well attended and
correct,
hugely enthusiastic.
Yes.
And gave themselves a big black eye.
Yep.
This isn't about the insane media, which did, of course, what the insane media is going to do.
Correct.
This is about them
Yep.
giving the insane media all these headlines that undermined the main man, Donald Trump, who did exactly what he should have last night. You effed up.
Yep. Unforced errors.
Hopefully you'll do better in the closing week of the campaign.
Agreed. Yeah, and listen, this isn't going to move the needle. This is a big nothing burger, okay? Pennsylvania is not going to be decided by Puerto Ricans. Pennsylvania is going to be decided by can we stop the shit that's happening there right now and quash what's happening. And it's I'm going to talk about it tonight. Yeah, that's what Trump said. I don't know him. I didn't hear him. Yeah, he said that about Nick Fuentes too when he sat and ate with him. I think Donald Trump knew exactly what he was going to get. Donald Trump's not stupid. What should have happened is Donald Trump should have said, you know what? Those jokes weren't funny. What was funny was like the Al Smith dinner. I thought that was funny. That was great. You should go watch it. That was funny. But this, it wasn't funny. It's in poor taste. And you know what? We're moving on. You know, certainly didn't want to offend anyone, Puerto Ricans or anyone. I thought some of the jokes were in poor taste after I heard them, but I didn't hear them right away, but I did hear them afterwards. And, you know, certainly, you know, our campaign owns it. But let's talk about Kamala Harris, how she feels it's okay to call me Hitler and call, you know, half of America Nazis. Switch it. Switch it. It's not hard. Who made the decision to put him up there? Well, that doesn't matter, right? I guarantee it wasn't some low campaign staffer. You know, what you do is you start tapping your resources. And you find out who has emailed the campaign and say, I want to help. Like, for instance, like say I reach out to the Donald Trump campaign and say, listen, I'm available. I would love to talk if he's in town. If you guys need someone to come up there and rally up the crowd and get them fired up, I'm pretty good at that. Here's some of my videos and love to see it. And then, you know, you grab that guy and then you book it. And, you know, this just shows, again, that Donald Trump has a problem with personnel hiring. And he's got to not oversee this, but he's got to hire people he can trust. Megyn Kelly's right. She's 100% right. Like I agree with her on pretty much everything. There's very little that Megyn Kelly and I don't agree on. And she hits Trump on what I hit Trump on and vice versa. No, she doesn't know who I am. So I guess I hit Trump on what I do. And then it just happens to coincide with Megyn Kelly. But does this mean that Donald Trump's done? No. Does it mean it's over? No. Does it mean he's going to lose tens of thousands of votes? He's going to lose Pennsylvania? Absolutely not. It just means that people have an excuse to go ahead and keep it in the headlines. And then they're going to roll back to that he's a Nazi. And tonight we're going to hear that from Kamala. She's going to do that. You know she's going to do that. I know she's going to do that. Because that's what the chick does. That's all she's got. So let me give you the two things that make sure that this isn't on already. Hold on. I don't think she's on time. No, she's not. Okay, so I want to talk about two things. Carrie, okay, come on. Let's not start the conspiracy theory, folks. Come on. But that's like saying Nick Fuentes was a plant. It was a bad decision. It was a bad choice. Okay. Why can't the campaign just own it? Even if it was a plant, it doesn't matter. You put him on stage. You saw the Tom Brady skit. You knew what you were going to get. This is the Trump campaign's fault. It's their fault. Why can't he ever be wrong? Why can't Donald Trump and team ever make a mistake? This is what frustrates me so much about this. And they can be wrong, folks. It's okay. It happens. Okay, it happens. And there's nothing to be upset about. We don't need to off with somebody's head. Campaign makes mistakes. Campaign fucked up. That's it. It's a simple thing. And if Donald Trump's not going to get out there, all right, Carrie, I don't know what's a joke. Sometimes I'm wondering if you're going to revert back to the old. But the thing is like, don't send Trump out there. Just send a couple high-profile people out there who are familiar with the campaign. And, J.D. Vance, what did J.D. Vance do? He made it worse. J.D. Vance is like, oh, people need to relax. You guys, I understand that's what you would say. That's what I would say. But if I'm a campaign manager for Donald Trump, I'm like, let's just get ahead of this, right? Make a post on Truth Social. Oh, I'm listening to this comic. It wasn't very good. I don't like all these comments. We're never going to book him again. That's all you had to put on Truth Social. And do it while it's happening. Just go, Trump, come here. Give me your Truth Social. Boom, 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 boom. And they already have access to it. I can't believe this comic. Those comments were horrible. We're never going to have him here again. Don't know this guy. He's very low energy. He's not Big Lee. Fuck him, and hit send on Truth Social. And then it would have been a big nothing burger. But instead, your campaign waited. And then you sent out J.D. Vance to double down on it. And then Trump hasn't said anything. And then he had a huge press conference today, and he could have opened with something. He didn't. So you leave it in the news cycle. This is stupid. This is fucking politics 101. This isn't hard. I'm available. Yeah, J.D. Vance is doing Joe Rogan tomorrow. Yeah, that's great. But how about we let Kamala Harris be in the news cycle tonight? How about we do that? That's important. You know what I mean? Let's just stop doing the unforced errors. They got to stop. What? Did they just boot him? What are we talking about, y'all? What are we talking about? Somebody saying that uh-oh, are we dropping viewers? What's going on? Somebody hey, Liv? Am I dropping viewers? Can you come here, please? Can't talk to you through doors, hon. Did we drop viewers? Can you check, please? Carrie says he was the only bad speaker of the evening. It only takes one. See, that's the attitude I'm talking about. Like, that's what the Trump people are doing. Oh, it was just one guy. Yeah, that one guy completely held the entire thing hostage. We lost the feed for a minute. Okay. On Facebook? Where? Facebook? Okay. All right. Well, we're back. This doesn't surprise me. They do this all the time. Whenever it starts climbing too high, it gets throttled. Welcome to typical Facebook in Facebook fashion. All right. So there's two things I wanted to talk to you about. There's two things. Number one, I'm sick of people saying, okay, Facebook dropped the show. Just refresh, guys and girls. It's working. The numbers are fine. Just refresh. Just leave and come back in. I don't know what it is. I can't fix it. Don't know what to do. So there's two things that I am sick and tired of the legacy media. And honestly, if Megyn Kelly was sitting here, I'd say you were amazing. That was a wonderful skit. But you got to stop saying this one thing. And what she has to stop saying, real simple, is stop saying that there are undecided voters out there who are going to be swayed. That shit's got to stop. Okay? The days of having 7% of the U.S. This isn't 1960. This isn't 1980. The fact that, yes, 7% of the voters who usually are non-party affiliated usually make up the electorate that decides the election, but they've decided. There are no undecideds in this. It is the most well-known ticket in U.S. history. They knew Joe Biden for 50 years. They've known Donald Trump for 40. They've known him as 10 years in running for politics. Kamala has been a senator. She's been an OGAG, and she's been the vice president. And this is the most well-known. Everyone knows who they are. They know. So to sit here and say, oh, we have to be careful because there's those undecided voters. No, they're not. There's none. Well, folks, they're throttling us because the show was really doing well on Facebook. And then they decided, well, the show's doing too well and the algorithm kicks in and shuts it down. This is what happens. It happens all the time. And all I can say is if it locks up like that, just leave and come on back. Okay? Leave and come on back. That is the best way to make sure that the show reloads. But anyway, that's pretty much it. Don't sit here and keep saying, oh, those undecideds now are going to decide, not to vote for Trump. If grab him by the pussy didn't do it. Thank you, Frank. If grab him by the pussy didn't do it. Okay. If 97 indictments didn't do it. If 34 felonies didn't do it. If Stormy Daniels didn't do it, if January 6th didn't do it, a stupid comment by a comic isn't going to do it. Can we stop? People are saying Facebook is. I can't hear you. You got to come in here. Hey, babe, do me a favor. If you're you got to come in here because I can't hear you with noise canceling headphones.
Facebook paused for a minute and I reloaded it. So Facebook's up and down.
Okay. Sorry to be frustrated, but honey, all it does is waste time on the show when you talk to me in the living room. You just got to come in here and talk to me. Okay, everyone reload. Sorry, I can't hear shit with this. So the kids do it too. They come in here and they're like, and I'm like, I don't sign. I can't hear what you're saying to me. So if you guys are struggling, just reload. It's not like Olivia's not on the show every night and does the same thing with the kids and go, stop standing at the door. Come in here. I do the same thing. All right. Sorry, I hate busting the flow of the show. That's why. And I just, if Facebook's having problems, just you guys, there are plenty of other channels for you to go to. And I would recommend you signing up, like I've told you a million times, go to Wimkin. Wimkin doesn't have issues. And if Wimkin has issues, Rumble doesn't. And if Rumble doesn't, we have plenty of channels. So you just might need to get out of your comfort zone with Facebook and just say, you know what? I think it's time to leave Facebook because we're leaving Facebook. It's just a matter of time. We're done. Okay. We're done. We're done with Facebook. They are stealing from us and we're working our asses off and we give them a ton of traffic and they just don't care. So, it's just a matter of time. We will let everybody know what happens, but we're just done curtailing to Facebook, okay? All right, so the second thing that we need to stop doing, besides the thing of, hey, the undecideds, we have to be so careful. If it's 7 days out from the election and they don't know, fuck them. I'm sorry, fuck them. These two candidates are the most vetted candidates and well-known candidates in U.S. history. If you don't know, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. I'm on the fence. You're a moron. 100%. I'm saying it. I'm calling you stupid. You're stupid. And you shouldn't vote. You should go and vote for American Idol, but do not vote for anyone in this election. All right. Looks like Kamala is getting close. Hold on. What's it being played on, everybody? Wait, I got it. I got it on pause. Okay. The second thing. No matter who wins, whether it's Trump, which I'm pretty confident. Yeah, Yankees are going down. Yeah, I know. Fuck the Yankees. So you got Trump, which I think Trump's going to win. You got Kamala. Whoever wins. What I don't want to hear, and I swear, every effing election, we tear up America, rip each other apart, insult each other, call each other the worst names. And then at the end, what do we say? It's time for America to heal and come together. Not this time. Fuck you. Liberals and Democrats, no more. Nope. There is no coming together. No more. We have got to stop saying that, because what we're saying is basically we're just pretending how we feel. We're pretending that we don't like the liberal policies, that it's okay for them to call us Nazis. It's okay for us to call them libtards. No. If I hear a candidate say that, now it's time for our nation to heal. Fuck you. I'm sick of it. If we're going to hate each other, then let's just do it full force. Let's hate liberals every day of the week. They can hate conservatives every day of the week. We will hate each other. We'll be a split country. Fuck it. No more problems. Every time I see a liberal, fuck you. Every time they see me, fuck you. And we'll just do that forever, because I'm sick of the fucking game. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. Now we need to come together. You know what they need to say? You know what? I'm the president. Half of America, fuck you. I'm not a big fan of Obama, but that's what Obama did. Obama's like, brothers in office, fuck all y'all. And we need to do the same. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of Democrats dividing this country, saying the worst possible shit about us, and then all of a sudden we need to heal. And I'm going to be a candidate for all sides. No, you're not. You're a douchebag. You're a horrible human being. Joe Biden said the same shit. Don't you remember he was the change agent, the compromise guy? Yeah, none of that happened. No more. I'll be a candidate for all of America the moment the election's over. You hated us during your campaign. You hate us now. And at least Joe Biden never pretended to like us. He always hated us. Good. That's fine with me. I'm sick and fucking tired of this. Sick and fucking tired of it. And yes, I'm cussing. So here's my stance. Liberals, you called me a Nazi. You called me deplorable. You called me a racist, a xenophobe, a homophobe. You made fun of the color of my skin. You make fun of my tattoos. You make fun of my service. You make fun of my education level. You make fun of where I live. You make fun of my accent. You make fun of my Bible. You make fun of my guns. You make fun of my whiskey. All right? That's fine. But fuck you. Not right after the election, November 6th, doesn't mean we get along again. No, fuck you. Until the next election, and then fuck you then too. Because I'm sick and tired of this. Let's bring each other together. You know what? Either we hate each other or we stop pretending we hate each other. I don't hate liberals. They hate me. So I'm going to treat you the same way you treat me. Garbage in, garbage out. Let's listen to Kamala. This should be fun. Oh boy. Pardon the language. Little fired up. Here it is.
Walked out to the stage to deliver what we're told is her closing.
Thank you, everyone. So listen, 1 week from today.
Sounds like an insurrection already. Just sounds like it just screams insurrection. Listen to her. Just look at all those people. This is so January 6th. I feel very uncomfortable. I feel like the insurrection could happen at any moment.
You will have the chance to make a decision that directly impacts your life, the life of your family, and the future.
Dude, listen to the car alarm going off. Is that not just perfect Washington, D.C.? Is that not perfect?
Of this country we love. And it will probably be the most important vote you ever cast. And this election is more than just a choice between two parties and two different candidates. It is a choice about whether we have a country rooted in freedom for every American or ruled by chaos and division. Many of you watching have probably already cast your ballots. But I know many others are still considering who to vote for, or whether you'll vote at all.
No, they're not.
So
Nobody
tonight,
is considering who to vote for. Nobody. Anyone who tells you that is a liar. They're lying to you. They want attention. These are the same people that cry in high school when, Bobby Schwizzer dies in a car wreck. But Bobby Schwizzer, they would rip his underwear up his ass and throw, freaking spitballs at him and stuff him in a locker. But when he dies, the prom queen's like, oh, Bobby Schwizzer, I loved him. Can I get out of class and go mourn? Same people. Same people. Same people that lecture you to put your cart back in the corral. But then when you go out of the store and you're loading your groceries and you see them come out, they go ahead and leave it in the middle of the road. Same people. Same people. Nobody is undecided. Not with 7 days to go. Everybody knows what they're going to do. Okay? They just will tell you that because they want attention. Give me a break.
I will speak to everyone about the choice and the stakes in this election.
Dude, I love that car alarm. This has to be on purpose, right? Because whoever the owner of that car is like, oh shit. And they're going beep, 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 beep. And they're going to have to leave and come back, right? Or there's somebody out there who's parked who literally is just going to have this thing go off the entire time.
We know who Donald Trump is. He is the person who stood at this very spot nearly 4 years ago and sent an armed mob to the United States Capitol.
All right. So just sorry, folks. We're going to interrupt the shit out of her tonight. Yaritza Romney says, imagine calling Puerto Ricans not supporting the Democrat Party Nazi. I have no idea what that means. Can I get a linguistic expert to help me with that? I don't understand. Please tell me what that means.
Earn the will of the people in a free and fair election. An election.
That's not the size of Madison Square Garden. I'm just saying, not even close.
Americans died as a result of that attack. 140 law enforcement officers were injured because of that
I understand
attack.
this one. She says, I'm sorry, but she sounds like she's drunk or into something. Nice. Yaritza. It's a good name. It's a strong name.
140 law enforcement officers were injured because of that attack. And while Donald Trump sat in the White House watching as the violence unfolded on television, he was told by his staff that the mob wanted to kill his own vice president. And Donald Trump responded with 2 words: so what?
I want a recording. I want video. I want proof of life. Who told you that? John Kelly? God. I'm sure the Atlantic posted that. We know where that story came from. Yeah, he said, so what? I'm sure.
America, that's who Donald Trump is. And that's who is asking you to give him another 4 years in the Oval Office.
Donald Trump didn't use a teleprompter today, by the way. She is.
Not to focus on your problems, but to focus on his. And Donald Trump has told us his priorities for a second term. He has an enemies list of people he intends to prosecute. He says that one of his highest priorities is to set free the violent extremists who insulted those law enforcement officers on January 6th. Donald Trump intends to use the United States military against American citizens who simply disagree with him. People he calls, quote, the enemy from within.
Yeah, okay. So how many people did he jail? Who's the one who's using political DOJ targeting on Donald Trump to bring 97 indictments? One of the large, there are corporations with hundreds of people involved who are not charged 97 times. Enron didn't have 97 indictments. 97 felony charges from indictments. Give me a break. Donald Trump has never jailed a political opponent. You know what? I know Barack Obama. We can talk to Dinesh D'Souza and see what they did to him, or how Obama weaponized the IRS, or how he went ahead and spied on Americans through the NSA with the largest intelligence program where every single American had email, had social media, phone taps, wiretaps on all collection of media, could access their cameras on their computers. What about that? How about the abuse of the Patriot Act? How about the DOD document that gives you the ability to give local and town officials and law enforcement lethal force by using the military against its citizens? How about that? Is that serious? How about J6? How about the suspension of habeas corpus? I mean, I understand the people responsible for J6 need to be obviously held accountable, but did you have to suspend their rights? Did you treat them like domestic terrorists? You sure did. So let me ask you a question. What about the 2 assassins of Donald Trump? Why didn't you go ahead and treat them like domestic terrorists? Why didn't you hold them? Why didn't you illegally question and detain them in the same way you did the J6ers? No? Oh, I guess double standards.
This is not a candidate for president who is thinking about how to make your life better. This is someone who is unstable, obsessed with revenge, consumed with grievance, and out for unchecked power.
Unchecked.
Donald Trump.
I don't know, sweetie. Don't you worry your pretty little head about unchecked power. There's something that's been around a lot longer than you. Maybe not Joe Biden, but it's called the Constitution. And we actually have checks and balances in this government. The president is a clown. He doesn't and never will have unchecked power. You're thinking of a king or a monarchy or a dictator. And you know, the Maoists that you guys love, Che Guevara, Lenin, Stalin, you know, your daddy taught that type of shit. Yeah, that's who you're thinking of, not the president of the United States, because the president does not have unchecked power. He can't even write a fucking parking ticket. You know who can? The DOJ that you weaponized. Oh.
Donald Trump has spent a decade trying to keep the American people divided and afraid of each other.
Oh, yeah, it's their fault.
That is
right.
who he is. But America, I am here tonight to say that is not who we are.
Oh, give me a fucking break. Seriously.
That is not who we are. You see, what Donald Trump has never understood,
dude, is the sound
that
off?
E pluribus unum, out of many, one.
She had to look that up.
Isn't just a phrase on a dollar bill. It is a living truth about the heart of our nation.
Unburdened by what has been.
Our democracy doesn't require us to agree on everything. In fact, we like good arguments from time to time.
Kevin.
Just think of your own family, right? It's not the American way to not have disagreements. We don't shy away from robust debate. In fact, we like a good debate, don't we?
Oh
we
God.
like a good debate.
Oh my God. Yeah, we go work hard. We go work hard. You gotta go
And
work.
the fact that someone disagrees with us does not make them the enemy within.
What?
They are family, neighbors,
There we go. Sorry.
classmates, co-workers. They are fellow Americans. And as Americans, we rise and fall together.
Even the Nazis? What about the Nazis? What about the 71 million Nazis? Well, 80 million now because Trump's going to crush. What about the Nazis? Can we accept the Nazis? Here we go. Remember what I told you? The two things we don't accept. There's undecided voters. And now the second thing, we're all going to come together. It's the power, e pluribus unum. Out of many, one. We're all together. We're a family. I know I called you a Nazi, racist, uneducated, stupid, Bible-thumping, gun-toting redneck, but we want you to be a part of our party. You're no longer the enemy. You're no longer domestic terrorists. You're no longer fascists. You're no longer a member of Adolf Hitler Orange Man Nazi Party. You're my people now, and I want to run for you. Fuck you.
America, for too long, we have been consumed with too much division, chaos, and mutual distrust. And it can be easy then to forget a simple truth. It doesn't have to be this way. It doesn't have to be this way. It is time to stop pointing fingers. We have to stop pointing fingers and start locking arms. It is time.
Okay, so tomorrow, when she starts calling Donald Trump Nazis and all of her followers Nazis again, is anyone going to say anything? Will the media fact check? Hell no. Hell no.
It is time to turn the page on the drama and the conflict.
That we are.
The fear.
We are. We're going to vote for Donald Trump.
Division. It is time for a new generation of leadership in America.
So we don't want Joe Biden now? We don't want you? Because you're our leadership in America. Sounds good. I love it. She does endorse Donald Trump. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it from Kamala Harris endorsing Donald Trump. Sounds good to me.
And I am ready to offer that leadership as the next president of the United States.
No, we're good. No, we're good. Nope, we're good.
Now look, let me say, I recognize this has not been a typical campaign. Even though I've had the honor of serving as your vice president for the last 4 years, I know that many of you are still getting to know who I am.
Unlike every boss she's ever had, you have not really been inside Kamala Harris, right? I want you to penetrate me and go deep inside to uncover who I am. Just like Willie Brown.
Someone who has spent most of my career outside of Washington, D.C. So I know.
Right, as you do a speech from Washington, D.C. Nothing says anti-establishment more than doing your closing speech in D.C. Donald Trump went to New York, which is laced in history. Besides, isn't it amazing that you fuckos had to pull up a Nazi rally from the 1930s, but you didn't establish that New York, its importance to our independence, to the American Revolution, to industry, that you didn't recognize the history of New York and all of the amazing and great things before you all took a shit on it and ruined it. Yet you are so anti-American and so anti-USA that you malign New York with Nazis, and you literally shit all over Bill Clinton and John F. Kennedy, who did the same, and Al Smith. No wonder why she didn't go to the Al Smith dinner. She thinks he's a Nazi.
See? So I know that not all the good ideas come from here. I am not afraid of tough fights against bad actors and powerful interests, because for decades, as a prosecutor and a top law enforcement officer of our biggest state, I won fights against big banks that ripped off homeowners.
Oh, against child sexual blah, blah, blah.
For-profit colleges that scammed veterans and students, against predators who abused women and children, and cartels that...
And lowered sentences on child sex traffickers and pedophiles. Don't want to talk about that.
Trafficked in guns, drugs, and human beings. And I did this work because for as long as I can remember, I have always had an instinct to protect. There's something about people being treated unfairly or overlooked.
Like when you call them Nazis?
That frankly just gets to me. I don't like it. It's what my mother instilled in...
Like people in... Palestine, Ohio? like hurricane victims from Helene? Jews? How about our friend Israel when we halt weapons to them? I mean, we give them to Ukraine. Just wondering. What about all the businesses that were shut down? What about our kids for 2 years without going to school because you pricks caved to the teachers' unions and were held hostage by the Chicago unions? What about those people? Huh? No? What about the 13 servicemen and women who died in Afghanistan because of your boss's bungled fuck up? What about Lake and Riley? Wondering. Caller, where are you from? Love having you all in. What's going on?
It's Howie.
Hello.
From
What's up, Howie? What do you want to talk about, buddy?
Oh, not much. I wanted to add to the Nazi ordeal there.
I know, but I was on a roll, Howie. I was on a roll. I was going off. That's okay, though. What do you want to talk about?
Well, which party wants to take rights away from the parents on their kids' education?
Yeah, that would be the Democrats.
Hitler, that's how he formed the Nazi youth.
Yep.
He believed kids belonged to the government and parents had no rights in their kids' education.
100% correct.
And then another thing he also did that Democrats want to do, he banned the Second Amendment rights. In Germany, he disarmed the public before he loaded them into the boxcars.
That is absolutely 100% also true. And all communist governments, well, hold on, but all communist governments did that. The Maoists did that, Stalin, Lenin. They did it in China. One of the main things they do is disarm governments. Why do you think that Australia was building COVID camps? Why do you think they disarmed the public? Why do you think they're moving towards totalitarianism inside of Australia and defend communism? A lot of Australians who watch this show will tell us that progressive socialism is coming into Australia with open arms. I wonder why. What else, Howie? What else am I missing?
And if you actually look up the definition of the word Nazi, it's the National German Socialist Workers' Party. Like, I'm a history buff on that, especially on that era.
Well, you're not saying anything that I haven't said on the like. Let's take a look at what the Nazi Party believed in, as far as elderly care, as far as welfare, extended time off from work. Their entire policies were extremely progressive, extremely progressive.
Hitler was pro-eugenics.
As the Democrats were, obviously. Yes, absolutely. I mean, dude, you preach it, man. Preach it. How long have you been watching the show, man?
I mean, I've been following for 3 years, and shout out to Amy Stancombe. She's the one that introduced me to your show.
Yeah, and I appreciate that you. She's brought a lot of people on this show. I appreciate it, man. You're everything you're saying is true. And you can go back to the Japanese internment camps. You can go back to Great Society. You can go back to Manifest Destiny, the opposition to the Underground Railroad, to civil rights. It doesn't. This is nothing new for the Democrat Party. They like to go ahead and say what they
misrepresent history all the time.
Of course they do.
Look at when they call, like, part of my French here, but if you look up who Uncle Tom actually was, he was actually a hero that actually helped people escape the plantation.
Right.
But they always misrepresent him by calling him a traitor. Maybe it's because they were a traitor and helped free their ancestors' slaves.
I think anyone who was born in that time period has to be labeled an anti-abolitionist by the left, no matter what. And the interesting thing is that even some of the black leaders during that time, they now absolutely say were also a part of being anti-abolitionists. It amazes me how their distortion reality field somehow they can't remember that Abraham Lincoln, the party of Lincoln, is Republican. We may not have done it for the right reasons, but the United States was the second major nation in the world to abolish slavery almost faster than it was adopted outside of England.
Well, I can't exactly name the guy that did it through history, but there was one prominent Democrat that said I would have these Edwards voting
LBJ.
for me for Democrats for the next 100 years.
LBJ, the Great Society. That's LBJ. That's LBJ.
All
Lyndon
right, I
Baines
just didn't
Johnson.
remember his name.
Yeah. Listen, this is nothing new, right? We know what the Democrats think. We know that they use these people. They're trying fear. That's what they're focused on. They're trying fear. And we'll see if it works, man. I mean, you going to be with us on election night?
Oh, yeah. After what I vote, I would be definitely going to be hopping on to watch the results. And everywhere you go in Pennsylvania outside the cities, it's predominantly Trump sides everywhere.
Yeah. Well, that's the way it was in 2020 and 2016, and we had two different results. I think America is going to be shocked.
I think in my belief, in 2020, that was very suspicious. A 700,000 vote lead. I went to bed around 3 o'clock in the morning that night. By the time I woke up, he lost that 700,000 vote lead. I'm very suspicious of that.
Yeah, we've had this conversation on the show before. You know what? Do yourself something. Go back to November 2020 and look up my election night coverage. And I told y'all that before. I was telling you that weeks before, because this was all in the paper that they weren't going to have the counts done. The media was talking about that they weren't going to have the counts done. And even the news media that night, Hemmer's talking about it. And he says, they're not even going to start counting in most of these states based upon the mail-in ballots and the absentee ballots until the day of election is counted. So they warned us about this, but I'm not going to get into the stolen thing. I just want us to vote. Are you in a swing state, Howie? I have you down, Howie, from Maui, and I know you're not from Maui.
Pennsylvania is a swing state. Yeah.
Why are you? Yeah, I know it is. Why are you waiting to vote?
Well, it's our county. Nothing usually goes wrong. The issue is primarily in Pittsburgh and Philly and in the big cities with that. The ones living in the big cities, I would suggest vote early.
Howie, what do you think? What do you think I'm going to say to you?
Well, you're probably going to suggest the same.
Yeah, go vote. Get it out there. Because every time they come online and say, Pennsylvania, early voting, 26% of registered Republicans, this is a record. You're one of them. You hurt Democrat turnout when you show up early. You disenfranchise them. This is their bag. Every Republican should be trying to steal this from them.
I'm actually happy with the results so far, because usually around this time frame, Democrats have a large lead on early voting.
Right. So go out there and help them. Get out and vote. You've watched my show. I need you to, Howie, get out there and vote. And here's the thing. You can go to PA.gov.
I'll have to wait for my grandfather to get back home, because he's the only one that knows where the polling office is to drive me there, because it's not within walking distance with ease.
Okay. Because, Howie, you're in Pennsylvania. What part?
Central.
Okay. I'm not that far from you, surprisingly enough. We could be in Pittsburgh or Philadelphia in a short period of time. Just do me a favor. Get your ass there. There's no excuse. You got to vote, because what happens if something happens? What happens if it snows? What happens if grandpa's car breaks down? Dude, you got the time to do it. I'm begging you. Get out there and vote now. Please. Find a way.
I can do that.
My man.
I just need the bucket that knows their way there, too.
That's why we have MapQuest.
I have several ways to get right there.
Well, it's not that hard. All you need to do is go to your .gov site for Pennsylvania. I'll find the address for you. I'll put it up in a second once we play Kamala here. And when you go there, you would just go ahead and put in your zip code, and it will show you where you can vote. Local high school, DMV, library, whatever. And that's it. You take that address, you find a friend, and you go, man, let's go vote now. And then you let me know, and you say, Matt, I voted, and I'm going to get you a free T-shirt. But
and my older brother also, he never usually votes, but this time he's going to be voting, and he's voting the same way we are.
Everybody needs to vote.
For Trump.
That's wonderful. All right, buddy, I got to play this, otherwise I'm going to be here all night. Good to talk to you, Howie. Thanks for calling in, my brother.
Good to talk to you. But one last observation from Madison Square Garden.
Sure.
Quite diverse for what they claimed to be a Nazi rally, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. Well, those were all Nazis. Vivek Ramaswamy, there was a couple Jews there. There were Puerto Ricans there. They're all racist, too. That's the way this works, right? Isn't it funny how black people can't be racist unless they're Republican? Isn't that funny? Yeah. All right, but
go ahead. or the simple fact that if you look through history, world history, no ethnicity or country has a clean history.
No, every single territory and every single square inch of land on Earth has been conquered at one point or another, right? And here's the last thing: if diversity, equity, inclusion is so damn good and so damn cool and so damn necessary, why do they get so pissed when we say she's a DEI hire? Know what I mean?
I know, right?
All right, I got to go, Howie. I got to go. I can't be here all night, buddy. See you,
I'm gonna
pal.
get back on Facebook and watch.
All right, come watch. See you, buddy. Good to hear from Howie. Here we go.
To hold accountable those who use their wealth or power to take advantage of other people.
Thank you, Melanie. Howie, it's right there, pa.gov, and that's what I thought it was. But it'll tell your local polling place.
The drive to protect hardworking Americans
Thank you for voting, Wendy.
always seen or heard and deserve a voice. And I will tell you that is the kind of president I will be.
Everybody has the time. You know what? I hear that all the time. I don't have the time to vote. I don't have the time to run a 16-hour-a-day show. I don't have a time to work out for an hour and a half. I don't have the time to be a father. I don't have the time to drive down and see one of the Don't Unfriend Me show dummies and try to, who is seriously ill. Nobody has the time. I don't want to wake up in the morning. Either do you. Vote. Vote, vote, vote. You do have the time. Get in the car and vote. Every single job gives you time to vote. Every job. Instead of doing it on election day, say, can I go vote now? I want to make sure my vote counts. Can I have an extra hour for lunch? It's law. They have to allow you to go and vote. I don't care what job it is. There is no job on the planet that will not let you vote. It's against the law. You have the time. You have to make the time. You have to make it important. Go vote.
And look, I'll be honest with you, I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. But here's what I promise you. I will always listen to you. Even if you don't vote for me. I will always tell you the truth. Even if it is difficult to hear. I will work every day to build consensus.
You're begging.
And reach compromise to get things done. And if you give me the chance to fight on your behalf, there is nothing in the world that will stand in my way.
Oh, yeah. Even those Nazi Trump supporters, right?
So look, in less than 90 days, either Donald Trump.
Hey, Ashley, thank you for donating $20, folks. We're at 141. We're about 60 away, $58.40 away from hitting our $200 goal for the night. It's the end of the month, man. Got to crush it. We got a lot going on. Need your help. Conservatives against Harris to save our republic has liked the stream. Thank you so much for doing that. Let's go ahead and watch this. But folks, if you have not had a chance to donate, thedumshow.com/donate. It helps, man. Every dollar helps. Consider us the PBS for the conservative movement. It keeps us going, keeps us funded. This is your show. We do it for you. We're here twice a day for you and any other time you need us. Help us out. What the fuck is that red light on her? Did you guys see that? You guys see that? What it looks like is an infrared strobe, a rangefinder for a camera, but they're usually not that strong. They don't cast image on people. What the fuck is that?
On day one.
Now, she does have bulletproof glass around her. I know that for a fact. So it's possible that that could be a light on the teleprompter, or that could just be someone with flash, something. It's weird. But it's reflection. She is behind glass. I'm just letting you know that. I saw the setup before they put it up. She's 100% behind bulletproof glass.
If elected, on day one, if elected, Donald.
No, that mic is not a flashable mic. It's a small 580. I don't know the version. It might be a Shure. It's a small mic. It's a standard mic. Good mic. I think there's a light. Could be a camera. That's because it looks like it's over the mics. It just made me nervous. But nobody's going to use a laser, guys.
Donald Trump would walk into that office with an enemies list. When elected, I will walk in with a to-do list.
Oh, please.
Full of priorities of what I will get done for the American people.
Can't tell you what they are, though. It's a secret.
And I will work with everyone.
No, you
Democrats,
won't. No, you
Republicans,
won't. No, you won't.
and independents to help Americans who are working hard and still struggling to get ahead. I have been honored to serve as Joe Biden's vice president. But I will bring my own experiences and ideas to the Oval Office. My presidency will be different because the challenges we face are different. Our top priority as a nation 4 years ago was to end the pandemic and rescue the economy. Now, our biggest challenge is to lower costs that were rising even before the pandemic and that are still too high. I get it.
Bullshit.
I still remember our mother sitting at that.
Inflation was virtually non-existent. I think it was 1.26. There's always inflation. Anyone who says there isn't, they're lying. There's never not been inflation. Sometimes it's higher and lower, but inflation was like at 1.2%. It was not 1.26%. It wasn't climbing. Gas was at an all-time low. Prices were fairly stagnant. Anyone that sits here and says that is a complete liar. It is 100% when you pass $5 trillion in relief and print cash that we don't have. That is why we have inflation. Oh, well, it happened all over the world. That's because every other government did the same fucking thing. They printed money they didn't have to get through COVID. The world leaders locked it down. World Health Organization locked it down and said to everybody that they should lock down 14 days to flatten the curve. Do you really think that we're the only place that did that shit? Give me a break.
At that yellow Formica table, late at night, cup of tea in hand, a pile of bills in front of her, trying to make it all work. And I've heard from so many of you who are facing even greater financial pressures. Donald Trump's answer to you is the same as it was the last time. Another $1 trillion in tax cuts for billionaires and big corporations.
So I have a question, Kamala. Are you going to repeal the tax cuts that you guys voted for in 2022 to extend them to 2025? That would be the Democrats, by the way. If they were so awful about those tax cuts, why did you guys extend them? If they were all for big businesses, why did you vote to extend them? I'm wondering. Because those tax cuts are still in place. So are you saying you're going to repeal all the tax cuts that Donald Trump gave middle America on the day one? Is that what you're saying? Oh.
Time, he will pay for it with a 20% national sales tax on everything you buy that is imported. Think about it. Clothes, food, toys, cell phones. A Trump sales tax that would cost the average family nearly $4,000 more a year.
Bullshit.
And on top of that, you will pay even more if Donald Trump finally gets his way and repeals the Affordable Care Act, which would throw millions of Americans off their health insurance and take us back to an insurance.
Folks, Donald Trump can't repeal the Affordable Care Act, or he would have repealed the Affordable Care Act in 2016, just like he couldn't repeal Roe v. Wade. It took the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court has already judged on the Affordable Care Act and took away the forced mandate, which was considered unconstitutional. So what you mean to say is that it would be required for the House and the Senate to do that, and Donald Trump doesn't have that power. So you're once again full of shit.
When insurance companies have the power to deny people with pre-existing conditions. Well, We are not going back.
We're not going back because Donald Trump hasn't even said that he would go after pre-existing conditions. He has said since 2016 he has no desire to go after pre-existing conditions, and whatever he said he was going to replace in the Affordable Care Act that John McCain torpedoed said that pre-existing conditions would be included. So now this is where you go, we're not going back. We're not going back. And nobody gives a shit because nobody is asking us to go that way, you moron.
Going back because we also know
I can't play the YMCA. I'll get copyright strike, so it wasn't an accident. Thanks, Janet.
Donald Trump would deliver tax cuts to his billionaire donors. I will deliver tax cuts to working people and the middle class. I will make sure you have a chance not just to get by, but to get ahead. Because I believe in honoring the dignity of work. I will enact the first.
Thank you, Chef Lady.
First ever federal ban on price gouging on groceries.
Government controlling pricing and distribution. Socialism.
Cap the price of insulin and limit out-of-pocket prescription.
Controlling the price of medication. Restricting the flow of free market capitalism, socialism.
All Americans. I will fight to make sure that hardworking Americans can actually afford a place to live.
Forcing the price of housing and residency and government control, socialism.
Actually afford a place to live.
I keep hearing Democrats say, well, if you don't want to be called a Nazi, then stop acting like one. If you don't want to be called a communist pinko fucking pig, then stop acting like it.
And how excited she was when she could finally afford to buy our first home. I remember how excited she was. And I know that owning a home is not only a measure of financial security, it's about the pride of your hard work. And as president,
I'm going to go ahead and give you a $25,000 bump on your house by every housing price across America increasing on an overinflated real estate market, which will then go ahead and depreciate, and loans will no longer be able to be refied because we're going to spend $10 trillion on bullshit we don't need. And therefore, you will be stuck with a property value that isn't worth the loan that you have. And you will default and we'll create another housing crisis. That sounds fucking awesome. Welcome to Cuba. Welcome to Venezuela.
To help first-time home buyers with your down payment, take on the companies that are jacking up rents and build millions of new homes. For years, we have heard excuses about why America can't build enough housing. Enough with the excuses. I'm going to cut the red tape and work with the private sector and local governments.
And we're going to force home builders to build them at cost. Right.
With the private sector and local governments to speed up building and get it done.
I just want to let you know, I may very well be selling my house in the next 4 years. And when I do, I'm just going to tack $25,000 on the asking price. I'm just letting you know. I'm just letting you know. What are they going to do? Every single seller knows that there's $25,000. Okay, so we're just going to tack $25K on it. This isn't going to help anybody. It's just going to create even more of false security in the market. I was right about housing costs and the interest rate and builders losing their ass. And Amy and I argued about it. She'll come on the show. She knows she's my, you know what, Matt, you were right. That's my next prediction. You are going to create a housing bubble like we've never seen before. You are going to inject billions upon billions of dollars of false dollars into real estate. The bottom will fall out. The bottom will fall out.
And the cost of housing isn't the only financial pressure on middle-class families. I have met so many young people who have a natural desire to parent their children well, but not always the resources to do it. So I'll fight for a child tax credit to save them some money.
If you don't abort it. But if you send the fetus of your dead child in, we'll give you a $10 coupon to Wendy's where you can get a double hamburger and a Frosty. But unfortunately, it's going to cost you $47.99.
Children out of poverty. I'll work to lower the cost of childcare, which is out of reach for too many working families today. And for too many people in the sandwich generation who are raising young children and taking care of a parent.
Thank you,
Juggling
Wendy.
all of it is extremely difficult.
I think that's a first-time donor, so thank you so much, Wendy. We appreciate it. How are you going to do all this? Where's the money going to come from? Help me understand how interjecting another $20 trillion on the national debt is going to fix any of this. Spending more money is not the answer. You cannot tax people into prosperity. Ask her the question, how are you going to pay for it? It's always the same thing. Rich people need to pay their fair share. They already do, you twat. I am so tired. If you vote for Kamala Harris, if you're thinking of voting, you need to call into my show. You need to call into my show, and I just want to talk to you. If you already voted for Kamala Harris, then I can say you are the dumbest fucking person on the planet. I'm just saying. I understand Donald Trump's not perfect. I get it. I'm just anti-vote her. You don't have to vote for Trump. I'm fine with that. Just, write in Mickey Mouse. Just for God's sake, don't vote for her. Just please. Please, we've already had enough. We don't need this woman. This is just like Hillary Clinton. For the love of God, I can't cover her ass for 4 years. I just can't do it. I can't do it. I can't listen to this stupid woman for 4 more years. And I'm sorry. Yes, I'm going to bring sex into it. I don't care if you hate Trump. That's fine. Hate him. Just don't vote for her. My God.
I took care of my mother when she got sick.
Cooking
food that she had a taste for, finding clothes that would not irritate her skin. And understand.
If you did this, why do you have to read it from a teleprompter? You really need to go ahead and talk about your sick mother. And it's not a cathartic or palpable feeling that you don't remember that you had to cook for her and clothe her and get her anti-itch cream. But you have to read that off a teleprompter? Right. And you worked at McDonald's. This, all she does is lie. This is a manufactured candidate. This is literally a mannequin with some makeup and with some mocap. She is 100% inauthentic and fake.
As I do, that caregiving is about dignity. It is about dignity. And currently, if you need home care and you don't have some money to hire someone,
we're going to give you that too.
You and your family need to deplete your savings to qualify for help.
So what are you going to do for us?
That's just not right.
That's not right. What are you going to do?
So we're going to change the approach and allow Medicare to cover the cost of home care.
Oh, yeah. Oh, great. Oh, that's such good news. $20,000 a week for nursing home care. Oh, that's just going to be wonderful. For free? That's so good. Oh, it's going to be like part-time help? We're going to get like an hour or two a day? Oh, so it's going to be $2,000 a week instead. Has anyone seen the cost of having a nurse in home care, professional, how much that costs? Are you kidding me? Where's the money coming from? You. Your taxes. Your taxes. That's it. And they have 89,000 agents just waiting to knock on your door and take your middle-class dollars. and put a microscope up your ass to find maybe the $800 that you got for having a garage sale. Or maybe you did a side hustle and you mowed some lawns just to make ends meet. The IRS will be up your ass and they will check every single deposit. They will run you through the coals and take every single dime. Every single dime. Welcome to America.
Of home care so seniors can get the help and care they need in their own homes.
Maybe if they wouldn't have aborted their kids, they could help. I just thought.
Now, Donald Trump has a different approach.
He's going to kill you.
He tried to cut Medicare and Social Security every year he was president. Look, I believe that when people have worked...
Wait, what?
Now, Donald Trump has a different approach. He tried to cut Medicare and Social Security every year he was president.
Complete fucking lie. Fact check, lie. Lie, 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 lie. That's all I can say is, I mean, if I tried to fact check this, I would literally just jump off of a building. There are not enough hours in the day.
President. Look, I believe that when people have worked hard their entire life, they deserve to retire with the benefits they have earned.
So we're going to loan more money against it.
And I believe in the fundamental freedom of Americans to make decisions about their own bodies and not have their government tell them what to do. I will fight to restore what Donald Trump and his hand-selected Supreme Court justices took away from the women of America.
All right, so all 4 years, Donald J. Trump tried to cut Social Security. We're just going to go ahead and pick one apart because I don't have the fucking time to blow this lady up on every lie that she's told. There were budget proposals. Oh, God forbid. Let's stop unfettered spending. Let's stop using the federal budget that we pass every year to sell T-bills against Social Security and Medicare that is completely bankrupt and fund it. Caller, I'll be right with you. Let's payroll tax cut proposal. During COVID-19, they wanted payroll tax cuts in order to go ahead and resubsidize and fund. Last, they wanted entitlement reform. That's not cutting Social Security. That's not changing Social Security. That's not proposing. It is literally looking at how to go ahead and stop it from bankrupting. That is not a problem. That's called fiscal responsibility. And if you yahoos in Washington would actually do that with the federal budget, we wouldn't be $36.2 trillion in debt. Caller, where are you from? What do you want to talk about?
Hey, Matt. I wanted to add something because I'm sitting here listening to her. I'm sorry for my dogs. One of the things that she is doing is she does not.
Who am I talking to?
This is Elizabeth.
Okay, you got to tell. I hear a lot of voices, kid. You got to tell me who it is. All right, so it's Elizabeth from Oklahoma.
Yes.
All right, go for it.
One of the things that she's doing is she does not even know her own programs out there.
Right.
Because remember, I was on the Advantage program. Mm-hmm. That is in-home care. Mm-hmm. That is bringing somebody in and helping them out with things that they would be getting in the nursing home. And that was paid for by Medicare and Medicaid. It's already being done. She does not realize what program's already out here. So she is full of BS.
Oh, just say it, Elizabeth. Say shit. Just start over and say it again. She's full of shit. I want you to say it.
She's full of shit.
Thank you so much. We love you. Thanks, kiddo. Thanks for calling. We'll talk to you in a bit. Good job, Elizabeth.
Okay, bye.
Thanks, buddy. Bye. Good girl.
That today, 1 in 3 women in America, think about it, 1 in 3 women in America lives in a state with a Trump abortion ban. Many with no exceptions even for rape and incest. The idea that a woman who survives a crime of a violation to her body should not have the authority to make a decision about what happens to her.
Just a fact check, Donald Trump did not impose a national or a state level abortion ban. Never at all. So these Trump abortion bans, complete lies. Trump believes that it should be taken to the state, and it's the state's decision. In no way, shape, or form did he ever endorse a abortion ban. It's a lie.
That is immoral. And Trump's not done. He would ban abortion nationwide.
No, he can't. The reason why he can't, you stupid feckless clown, is because he protected it and removed it from the federal government's purview. By giving it to the state, you know, the 10th Amendment reserved powers of the states. You should buy my books right here, which will help you with that. I know you can't read, but maybe your middle-class brain can figure it out, you know, because you're a middle-class person like us, where you could open up these very simple books, 19 pages, that has the entire Declaration, the Bill of Rights, has the everything you need, including the Constitution of the United States, right here for you in simple size 15 font for your dumbass. And you can look and see that the 10th Amendment is the reserved powers to the states. And the reason why the 10th Amendment is the last amendment is because it stops the government from usurping any power that is not declared. It's called enumerating powers. There's also enumerating powers inside the Bill of Rights, where if the government tries to impose and those rights are not clearly defined, it goes to the 10th Amendment for them to decide, and not the federal government. And that's where we get amendments, and we get 2/3 of the states agreeing to go ahead and amend the Constitution of the United States. And then to change those amendments, it takes 3/4 of the states to agree. But you don't know this because you're a fecklant, fuckface fucktard. God, I hate this woman.
To birth control and put IVF treatments at risk, and force states to monitor women's pregencies.
I'm a middle-class person. You're not middle class. Nobody relates to you. You have $1,000 earrings on. You wear $1,900 belts. You're a multi-millionaire. You have gotten your money through politics, off the backs of Americans. You are a leech.
Just Google Project 2025 and read the plans for yourself.
Susie says, Matt, you helped me decide who to vote for. I listened to you and voted accordingly. Who'd you vote for then? Did you vote for Kamala? If you're listening to me, I don't think so.
And look, I think we all know one does not have to abandon their faith or deeply held beliefs to simply agree the government should not be telling her what to do with her body.
But the government's going to go ahead and tell the doctors to work in small towns like she promised. The government is going to go ahead and tell you what to price your rental for. The government's going to tell you what you should sell medicine for. The government's going to tell you what to sell a loaf of bread for. Right. Government should. The first time ever that I've ever heard a Democrat say that the big government isn't the answer. You're a lying twat.
Not the government. And when Congress passes a bill to restore reproductive freedom nationwide, as President of the United States, I will.
We have more red states than blue states. That means the Senate won't codify. We're gonna win the House and Senate. You will not get shit done. You're not, lady, you're not going to win the House. You're not going to win the Senate. The numbers are looking so good for Republicans. If I had $100,000, I'd make the bet. Really feel good that we keep the House. We expand our lead. And I do believe that it is very, 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 very good for Republicans. A good night means we gain like 6 seats in the Senate. A bad night means that we have 2 majority. We're going to do well. And also that's reflective and indicative of top of the ticket. You guys have a road so freaking difficult to climb because your administration is a pile of dog shit. Every American knows it, and they can sit here and cheer for you, and they can say, we love Kamala, but you're forgetting the factor. You guys like to think that women are going to change their vote. Trust me when I say this, people cannot stomach voting for your ass. They couldn't do it during the primary of 2020. They don't like you. They think you're stupid, and they hated you as vice president. That's not going to get any better on election day when people literally have to fill up their tank, and they're going to spend $112 in their truck. Or they're going to go buy a Starbucks coffee for $8. Give me a break. People know. They care about the economy, they care about the border, they care about world politics, and you're fucking up all three. Good luck.
I will proudly sign it into law.
No, you can't.
Proudly.
You can't. That's not the way this works, sweetheart. Idiot.
And look, on another subject, politicians have got to stop treating immigration as an issue to scare up votes in an election.
Oh, okay.
And instead, treat it as the serious challenge that it is that we must finally come together to solve. I will work with Democrats and Republicans to sign into law the border security bill that Donald Trump killed.
He didn't kill it.
When I was Attorney General of a border state, I saw the chaos and violence.
You were in
caused by
San Francisco. You saw more illegals from Canada than you did Mexico. Shut the front door. A border state, Northern California. Give me a fucking break. Virginia is more of a border state than Northern California. God, this woman.
That I took on. And when
Thanks,
I am
Glenn.
president, we will quickly remove those who arrive
We
here
appreciate you, Glenn.
unlawfully,
Thank you so much, buddy.
prosecute the
Real close,
cartels,
folks. We're about
and give
$12
Border
away. Let's go,
Patrol
let's
the
go.
support they so desperately need. At the same time, we must acknowledge we are a nation of immigrants. And I will work with Congress to
IQ isn't indicative of somebody's overall presentation skills and articulation. I know some of the dumbest people in the world who can talk their way out of a frickin' a steel bag or a steel pot, but they're not. Richard Nixon's a perfect example. He could articulate great, but he was wise. He wasn't smart. So IQ is literally a series of tests that demonstrate logical deductive reasoning based upon your current level of knowledge. IQ isn't the end all be all for somebody's level of intelligence. Because here's why. Because if you looked at Jimi Hendrix and his IQ, he was extremely intelligent, but that didn't help him learn how to play the guitar upside down, a left-handed guitar, when he couldn't perform the basic chords when he first started playing. There was an inherent skill that was there that an IQ wouldn't uncover. I know people who have created things that are just unbelievable, but their IQ isn't necessarily indicative of their success. Stupid people are successful. Smart people are successful. What do I think Kamala's IQ is? I think she's very intelligent. I just think she can't articulate worth dog shit. I think that the whole brain to mouth thing is a struggle for her. I think she's intimidated. I think she's weak, and I think she's scared. And that has nothing to do with her IQ. But you don't get where you are. You don't get to the vice president of the United States if you're dumb. She just can't articulate her point. She doesn't believe what she's saying because it's not her. She is a progressive socialist. She believes in the expansion of government. She believes in the redistribution of wealth. She is worse than Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren. At least they're honest. She's a liar. And the moment she gets in, every single Green Party bullshit stamp from what they've been trying to pass, from clean energy to protecting the environment to overall health care, will be a slow trickle to death for this country. The reason why healthcare and universal healthcare and government subsidy and involvement happen and work in Scandinavian countries is, first of all, I hate to say this, I really do. Look at the unemployment rate in these countries. It is an all-time low. Look at the minority mix that they have versus what we have. It is an all-time low. Look at the people who have children who suffer from Downs or suffer from autism. These children are not in abundance in this country, and people know why. And then look at their overall tax rate. Well, they don't pay income tax. Right. They may not pay an income tax. Fine. But property tax and overall taxes on food and gas and commodity and overall federal tax is 65-70% all in. So the only way to do this is to make it successful for 332 million Americans is, one, solve the problem with pay disparity between minorities and whites, solve the inequities in the inner city, solve the education gap between minorities and the suburbs, stop any medical necessary, basically have proactive abortions to eliminate Down syndrome, to eliminate autism, which stops the overall immediate from birth to death price rape that takes place for the government. Because that's what happens. Because it costs a shit ton of money to help people with autism and Down syndromes. And if you start a baby that needs that type of care and they're not a taxpayer and there's not additional income, it's a drain on the government and it's a drain on government health care. So what do? You eliminate that problem. Countries in Scandinavian countries, Sweden, Norway, Finland, it's not like you think. It's not perfect. People are happy, but crime is low for a reason. And if you just look at the overall demographics, you'll understand why. Now, am I saying that a white society is a perfect society? No. And you're not going to label me with that bullshit. But what you do have in the United States is impoverished areas and cities that there is a huge disparity between the education, the income, and the overall processes of being law-abiding, family value focused, and a contribution to the society that makes sense versus taking away from a financial standpoint. And you can pretend that that's not true. And you can say, oh, that's racist. It doesn't make it any less true. So when this lady sit here and says, oh, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to control price gouging. I'm going to go ahead and decide what lumber is. I'm going to decide what the pharmaceutical industry is. There is no way to do that unless it's government subsidies. And if you do that, you must raise taxes. If you want this utopian Scandinavian society, you are going to have to eliminate the minority population, or you're going to have to lift up the minority populations. And that has never been accomplished in the history of the world with taxing people into prosperity. It just doesn't happen. It takes people to not like their station in life, to start becoming a valuable member of society, getting a job, educating themselves. It's generational change. And African Americans and Hispanics are waking up to it. And they are rebelling against these type of policies, which are promised every fucking year, and they never are put to fruition because nobody wants to pay for it. And I hate to say it, African American communities, you know what I would do? I would create a black party. I would. If I was a black leader in politics, I would create a party that was autonomous from Democrats and Republicans, that was predominantly for minorities. Bring in Asians, bring in Mexicans, bring in Chicanos, bring in blacks, bring in Muslims, bring in every minority and create your own party and say, fuck you Republicans, fuck you Democrats, earn our votes. Get your asses in our neighborhoods, clean them up, start incentivizing businesses to come across the tracks so we can work at other places besides McDonald's, Jack in the Box, and Taco Bell. Get these drug dealers out of our towns. Give us police departments that are actually in the neighborhoods. Incentivize us to do neighborhood watch programs. Start incentivizing fathers to actually stay versus going out on the street and dealing drugs or gangbanging. Stop incentivizing women to have kids and encourage them to educate what they do have versus having more and using it as a job. All of those programs cost money, but those are state and city funded. And when you bring in businesses and give them the protection that they need, they will go into these communities. When you destroy the railroad track mentality and stop white suburban neighborhoods, and you bring in all different types of people, you will encourage places like Denver, Colorado, which was 5 Points, which was a shithole where they buried the bodies, and now is one of the most prestigious places in Colorado because of what they did. They helped the community. They got rid of the squatters. They got rid of the drug dealers. They got rid of the bangers. And they rebuilt and they rehabbed this community and brought people of all race, colors, and creeds into this community to reflect the demographic that was required to build a society that was productive. We can do this on the national scale, but it doesn't start with the federal government. They don't have the ability. It starts with the cities, it starts with the local, it starts with the municipalities and townships. And if you can just start guiding people versus saying that you're going to fix everything, we can get this country back on track, but not with this fucking lady.
And I will work with Congress to pass immigration reform, including an earned path to citizenship for hardworking immigrants like farm workers and our dreamers. As Commander-in-Chief, I will make sure America has the strongest, most lethal fighting force in the world. Donald Trump, on the other hand, has shown his contempt for our nation's heroes, calls them suckers and losers.
I already destroyed this shit.
Called a 4-star Marine general a, quote, lowlife. I will always
Anybody that
honor
sells a book, anybody that quotes as an anonymous source and leaks government information based upon the loyalty that you promise to the man you're working for, which is the President of the United States, he is in the chain of command. Thank you very much. And all of us had the same oath to the Constitution of the United States, foreign and domestic, but we also swore to the chain of command that we would follow all orders, lawful orders. John Kelly is not saying that he was given unlawful orders, which is why he's saying it. He is taking private conversations that supposedly Donald Trump said something with no evidence. It's he said, she said. It is supposition and conjecture. It's inadmissible in court. It should be inadmissible in the court of public opinion. These are lies. I've already proved this wrong.
service and sacrifice of our troops and their families, and fulfill our sacred obligation to care for them. I will strengthen, not surrender, America's global leadership. And I will stand with our friends because I know that our alliances keep American people safe and make America stronger and more secure. Look, world leaders think that Donald Trump is an easy mark. Easy to manipulate.
Mel, thank you.
With flattery or favor. And
Right.
you can believe that autocrats like Putin and Kim Jong-un are rooting for him in this election.
Kim Jong what? Dude, Vladimir Putin endorsed you, you silly twat waffle. Not that anyone should believe that, but he endorsed you. What are you talking about? Give me a, she's such a, does she say anything honest at all?
What she got roasted for, the deplorable comment. And this is just like a week.
President for the last 4 years. I know. But I know that many of you are still getting to know who I am. Well, when insurance companies have the power, hard work, have some money to hire someone, you and your family need to deplete your savings to qualify for help. That's just not fundamental freedom. The government. And when Congress passes a bill to restore reproductive relief, I will make sure.
I know he wishes he could take
the mark. Easy to manipulate with flattery or favor. And you can believe that autocrats like Putin and Kim Jong-un are rooting for him in this election. I will.
Kim Jong-un.
Guys, Dana, good
already
to see you.
voted. We 4 votes in my house.
Bank it. I like it.
The cartels and give Border Patrol the support.
I'm sorry, it keeps forwarding.
The other hand has shown his contempt for our nation's heroes. I will stand with our friends because I know that our alliances keep American people safe and make America stronger and more secure. Look, world leaders think that Donald Trump is an easy mark.
Oh my God, come on.
Easy to manipulate.
Higher standard of care. Higher standard of
I'm
care.
done.
Sounds like you need.
I can't.
Sounds like you need.
Did they cut it off or what?
Well, plus a brush of Vicks.
Chief, I will make sure.
Fuck it.
Dayquil Vapor Cool. The vaporizing daytime coughing, aching, stuffy head.
Let me see if I can refresh this.
Every day in every way.
Across the generations.
Doesn't spy on your
totem pole.
Taking care of you. An army of migrant gangs who are waging a campaign.
Is this the will of the people?
Across America.
Term. He has an enemies list of people he
All right, I'm good. I've had enough. I've had enough. I'm done. I can't listen to this shit anymore. I've been listening to this lady for too long. There is nothing she said that is remotely gonna move the needle. Her policies, they're just Democrat lies. You know what people heard? We don't have the money for this shit. That's what they heard. I don't think that moves the needle. I'm sorry. I have another question. Where are her mom and dad? Are they still alive? Where are her friends? Where are her family? You know, that's the one thing you see with Trump is you know, they're there. Who's supporting her? Besides celebrities. I don't know, man. Like if she gave a good speech and it made sense, Joe Biden was a better choice. I told you Biden was a better choice than her. I was shocked when they took Biden off the ticket. I was shocked. There's no reason to take him off the ticket because even though he was going to lose, they could have had face. I don't believe they would have gotten House and Senate. I think America's pissed. They're pissed off what they did to Biden. If they can't, they sold that Biden was the greatest president of all time, 3.5 years, that he was better than Obama, best president ever. And then what did they do? They completely bent him over the table and fucked him. They fucked him. They just completely just took him out of office. Nope. You're done. And they lied about it. They said he's so sharp and he's so energetic and he's so good at what he does and he runs board meetings. He's fantastic. And then what did they do? No, fuck him. He's gone. It's so bad. I can't turn Trump on. I'm done. I'm burnt. I just need a night. I've had too much. I've had too much Kamala Harris. I just can't. I can't do it. I can't. I feel like I'm in a pie eating contest and I've already shoved 26 pies down my gullet. And now you're asking me to go for seconds. I just can't do it anymore. I'll tell you what, Donald Trump is going to New Mexico. Donald Trump is coming into Virginia. Go figure. I told you that 3 nights ago that New Mexico and Virginia, some weird things are happening. I don't think he'll go into Oregon. I don't think he will. But I'll tell you what, that's another place that he could go and he could make some changes. I think Donald Trump's going for the popular vote right now. And I think he wants to take away all doubt from Democrats and be like, I won the electoral vote. I won the popular vote. Fuck you. And if that takes place, they don't have a leg to stand on. I want to thank everyone for helping out and donating. If this is your first time watching the show, we are 100% funded by you, and we appreciate your support. It keeps the show free. It keeps it going. It keeps it alive. We have hit our goal And by the slimmest of margins, we hit it tonight. And it's amazing. It's amazing. This is now night number 19. I think we have 3 nights to go that we will be on, and that will make our 22. We're on for 22 a month. But we've been doing mornings and nights now, and it just means the world that you guys watch us. And I know sometimes we cuss and sometimes we don't. Some people don't like that. I think we should be able to cuss a little bit lately, just especially tonight with her. I try to keep it somewhat condensed, but tonight, if I didn't cuss, I think I would have punched a wall. This decision is clear. Okay. It's clear. We tried something else. We had Trump. You thought Biden would be better. You made a choice. I didn't agree with your choice. We saw the outcome. Now it's time. Now it's time to get these people out of office. Let's secure. This is what we really, you know what's surprising? Can I tell you something? And I'm going to say this because I think we have enough time. Okay. We got essentially, 6 days to the election? Is that what it is? 6 tomorrow? Okay. What are you doing? You have the golden... like you guys know I give Trump advice all the time, and it seems that his campaign listens. So I don't... Democrats, it's too late. It's too late. But you have a golden ticket that you have not used. And I haven't said anything. I've kept it to myself because I didn't want anyone from the D side using this. But I'm going to share this with you. And you're going to be like, oh my gosh, you're absolutely right. So let me tell you what's going to happen. Clarence Thomas, 75 years old. 75, Republican, right? Samuel Alito was assigned by Bush. He's 74. Sonia Sotomayor is 70. John Roberts is 69. And Kagan is 64. Very small chance that Kagan, Roberts, or Sotomayor will resign. But most assuredly, Justice Thomas will resign. It's almost guaranteed. And so will Samuel Alito. That means you have 2 more Supreme Court justices that are going to be open, and the Democrats know this. Democrats are aware of this. And they haven't run on it. And the only thing they have to do and say, and the thing that they should be repeating over and over and over and over again is, don't you remember what they did with Amy Coney Barrett and Justice Kavanaugh and how they forced and stacked the courts? If we allow Donald Trump in again, they're going to do it again. They're going to put in 2 conservative justices to fulfill Alito and Thomas's seats. And they will have unfettered access to carve the Constitution and the laws of these lands to whatever they want. And they will have unfettered access to go after gay marriage. They just lie and say whatever they want. Why the Democrats did not do this is the dumbest thing ever. And I'm telling you right now, Donald Trump, if and I know people listen to this show who are on his campaign, the next 7 days, you should talk about nothing else on top of all the shit you talk about. But you should talk about, I did it in 16. I gave you 3 Supreme Court justices. I'm about to give you 2 more, and we're going to protect the Constitution. We're going to protect your First Amendment rights, your Second Amendment rights, and protect the Constitution of these United States by assigning 2 more Supreme Court justices. I did it in 16. I'm going to do it. in 2024, and we are going to make generational change for the Supreme Court. Just do it. But you're not going to hear it. They have not done it. That is probably one of the biggest election issues that is not sampled, is Supreme Court justices. And nobody's reminded anyone this election cycle. This is huge. And they're just allowing Donald Trump to run away with it. Because people know. People know that Thomas is getting old. They know Alito's getting old. They know that what happened in 2016. They know that Biden is it going to have the legacy that Trump has. Trump's going to be able to put 5 people on that bench. This is huge. It doesn't matter if Kamala plans on adding to the Supreme Court. Her chances of doing that are slim to none. And the reason why is she does not have the Senate, she does not have the House, and it will not pass. In order to alter the Constitution of the United States, they need a 3/4 majority. They're not going to get a 3/4 majority to do this, folks. Not even close. So she's going to have to go ahead and put Democrat nominees on the bench. And she's not going to be able to do that if she doesn't win. It's a huge opportunity. And Donald Trump, with a House and a Senate, gets his confirmations right away. Gets the confirmations right away. Almost instantaneously. He can assign 2 judges. They can retire and he can assign 2 brand new judges. He'll probably assign 1 this year and 1 at the 2-year mark. But this is important. And they're not running on this. How is she going to by the way, love to see 61 people on Twitter. Good to see everybody. It's good to see everybody. But how is she going to bring Roe v. Wade back to the federal level without Supreme Court justices? Because the Supreme Court justices are the ones that made the decision. You can try to codify, but Supreme Court still has to go ahead and check the overall law. You're not going to get 75. You're not going to get 2/3 majority of the states agreeing, because we win that battle. Just listen to what she's saying. The only thing she's saying is don't vote for Donald Trump. That's all she said tonight. And that doesn't work. It doesn't work. We'll see. We're going to see in 6 days. Folks, thanks for watching the Don't Unfriend Me show. I appreciate you. Please do me a favor. You can't donate. We understand. But you can see we're at $199,901. If you're on Twitter, if you're on Rumble, if you're on Wimkin, listen, I know you hate Facebook. You don't have to watch me on Facebook. But at least go over there and follow if you have a Facebook account. Let's get this number. I want this thing at 200,200, something like that. I want to get a nice buffer, and then I'm turning off advertising on Facebook. I'm going to pump it in the Twitter. I'm going to pump it in the Spreaker. We're going to really start pushing Wimkin. I need your help. I need your help. So if you would not mind, like, share, wherever you're at. If you're on Twitter, like it, follow. Twitter people, you got 63 people watching. Will you please follow the show? We've been endorsed by Roseanne Barr. We've been endorsed by the Hodge twins. We've been endorsed by Ryan Weaver. We've been endorsed by Judge Pirro. We've been endorsed by Damani Felder. We're a great show. We're a good show. We cuss a little bit. We get a little hot under the collar. But overall, we bring you the truth. Election night's going to be banging. We're going to have Ryan Samuels here, Leroy, Amy, myself, and Olivia. Ethan's going to be involved too. He wants to really have fun on election night, so he wants to be here. So please do me a favor. Like, share, follow, and subscribe. Go over and get your Documents of Freedom. They're available. Documents of Freedom, Constitution, Bill of Rights, and Declaration are all ready for you in a beautiful leatherette book. We've got a few left for Christmas. Please go over and do that. And then we'll see you tomorrow. What are we talking about butt cream for? Come on, do it. Last thing we want is for Matt to do a paid promotion for butt cream. Oh, yeah, because I'd have to. Roseanne Barr. You haven't seen the Roseanne Barr endorsement? Oh, yeah, here you go. One
of the things that I hear most often, that I always try to help people connect the dots, is what is past is prologue. And although Shakespeare, not my favorite, it's an interesting thing when you look at 1980 and the crack epidemic.
and what the United States government was involved in with the Contras.
No kidding.
So I don't understand why people are so shocked and they call Roseanne a conspiracy theorist. Because there's evidence in the past of the government getting involved in this, and there's plenty of books on this, and you can read this.
Hey, here's what I think. I love your show, by the way, Matt Spear, and
Thank
watch
you, ma'am.
Just discovered you about a week ago,
ma'am.
Oh my God, this guy's a genius. The facts he can spew.
God, I love you.
You can spew fact, and that's the sign of a genius.
Thank you, ma'am.
So I appreciate you asking me that.
So it was awesome. Laura Logan's laughing in the lower corner. They were all great. They listen. They know that I'm a rookie at this. They know that I'm just getting involved in this. Jen, if you're waiting on approval for Wimkin, email Olivia at the DUM Show. She'll get you taken care of and get you. If you just put in your username and password, did you select your profile pic? Did you pick a username and password? Did you sign up and fill out the account? If you did, it's probably already approved, okay? But you got to select a profile pic. They don't, Wimkin, Google, Comcast, they hate them. They block them on Google App Store and Apple, so they don't send out emails for them. They've banned Wimkin. This is what they do. They shut down any competition. So if you haven't had a chance, go do that. But yeah, Roseanne... yeah, that was it. Yep, Roseanne. We were on a panel with her and Laura Logan, and it was awesome. And we're gonna try to get Roseanne on the show. Okay, Jen, then just sign in. If you did all of that, take your username to go to Wimkin right now. Put your username and password in, and you'll log in. And if that doesn't work, you need to email Olivia. It's that simple. Everyone's done it. I'm going to see if Jen can get signed in. Let's see. And then I'm going to go. And I'm going to go spend time with the fam. The family. That was on, it was the fentanyl test. It's on Wimkin. And we linked it on my Facebook page. But it was a round table about fentanyl. And Jason hosted it from Wimkin and brought Roseanne, Laura Logan, and everybody in. And we were on the second hour with Roseanne and Laura Logan when she came on. So go take a look. Yeah, but I'm going to let Roseanne, I'm not going to push her, but I would love to have her on. So, all right, everybody, listen, thanks for everything. We will see you tomorrow night. Olivia will be here. I will be here. Amy will be here. We'll be here at 7:00. I may have an AM show tomorrow. I may not. It's just depending upon the news cycle. So if some good, juicy stuff comes out, I'll be on. But either way, I appreciate all of you. God bless, and thanks for watching the Don't Unfriend Me Show. Once again, stop by dumshow.com, get yourself some coffee, get yourself some cool shirts. We got the Dumb Nation hat, Dumb Nation jacket, all that type of stuff. Thanks, everybody, for everything. We will see you tomorrow.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.
Where are you? Come here, dork.